Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Bank Holiday Monday. I hope you're all well. I hope you enjoyed the weekend, and if you are over here in the UK and on Bank Holiday, you're enjoying the final day before heading back to work tomorrow. And you should be in a good mood. Look, Arsenal won 5-0 yesterday. Always nice to end the season in style. Obviously a little bit disappointing, well, very disappointing that we didn't end up lifting that trophy and having a big day of celebration yesterday at the Emirates, but it was still a very good day anyway. Loved it. Thought it was a perfect way to round off what's been a brilliant season. And yeah, it was just lots of fun. As I said in yesterday's video, the scenes at the end, the lap of appreciation, the players all on the pitch, the fan stuff. Never ever in my life, other than when Arsenal have won a trophy, like won the title or something like that at Highbury and celebrated, I've never seen the Emirates that full for a lap of appreciation. Everyone stayed. It was brilliant, and it was well deserved as well. It was what the players deserved. It's what the staff deserved. I was hoping that was going to be the case because it's been such a special season, and I thought it was great. He sort of Mikel Arteta was very, very emotional afterwards, trying to do his speech to the fans. They wouldn't even let him for the first minute because they were all just chanting his name over and over again. You could sort of see what that meant to him. He spoke about it in a press conference afterwards, actually. About how emotional he was hearing that and hearing what the fans were saying. Yeah, it was just very special. I thought it was really good. So, fun day at the Emirates. I'll talk a little bit more about that match. Look at what Mikel had to say a little bit in his press conference. Talk about a message from the board. Arsenal board have sent out a message today as well. But I just wanted to start with some personal news. Some of you may have seen it. I put a message out on Twitter last night after the game, but that was my last match covering Arsenal for Goal. I am leaving Goal in, well, very shortly, a few days, and starting something new. So it's going to be Arsenal related, so don't worry. I'm still doing these videos, so don't worry. In fact, I'm going to be doing more of these videos. So you're going to be seeing even more of me on here. Whether that's a good thing or not, we'll wait and see. You might be very, very bored of me by the time you see my ugly face pop up on your screens all the time. But yeah, that is the plan. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to try something new on my own, be my own boss, and just, yeah, focus even more on Arsenal than I do right now. I'm hopefully going to be listening to me, you're going to be watching me, you're still going to be reading stuff from me. There's plenty to come. It's all in the pipeline. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not going to be at Goal. So yeah, that's the news, and obviously I put it out yesterday. Thank you all for the messages that have come in on social media already. I'm going to miss it in a way, but I'm going to love being back in the stands, and that's the plan next season. Instead of being in the press box next season, I'm going to be in my actual seat. I'm going to be sitting with my dad for the first time in years, which I can't wait for. I've wanted to do it for ages, and this season it's been particularly difficult being in the press box this season. I've just wanted to be in my actual seat and just be a fan again. And the longer the season went on, the more I was thinking about it, the more I've wanted to try and do something on my own in terms of a sort of Arsenal central business type thing. And I feel like this is a perfect time to try it. So really looking forward to that, and being back in the stands next season in my own seat, watching games as a fan rather than a journalist, and producing more and more quality Arsenal content for you to watch and to be a part of as well. So yeah, stay tuned. Basically, it's all to come over the course of the summer. More and more will be explained of what plans I have, and to sort of progress this channel and to keep you even more sort of entertained and intertwined in everything that is going on at Arsenal. But so yeah, thank you for all the messages. Everyone I saw at the pub yesterday before the game as well, lots of you kept bumping into me, coming up, shaking my hand, saying you watch the channel and you really appreciated the work I've done. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. It was really good to see so many of the Arsenal fans, and great to be at the pub. And yeah, from next season you're going to see a lot more of me down the pub because I don't have to work anymore. So I'm going to be in the pub enjoying pre-match and post-match beers like all of you. So can't wait for that. Okay, enough about me, because you don't want to hear about me. You want to hear about Arsenal. And yeah, brilliant game yesterday. As I said, really enjoyed it. Brilliant season. Second best Arsenal points tally in the Premier League era for Arsenal, finishing on 84 points. 88 goals as well, best ever in the Premier League era for goal scoring. I think Mikel, I remember in a press conference earlier at the start of the season, I think he said he wanted between 90 and 100 goals. Didn't quite get there, but still 88 goals. I remember at the time when he said that, I can't remember what Arsenal scored last season, but it wasn't very many. And you're thinking, how are you going to add 40 goals to this team? But they've done it pretty much, and because they've all shared the goals around. You saw even Granit Xhaka yesterday with those 2 goals took his tally to 9 for the season. Odegaard's got 15. I think Saka's on 14. Martinelli was 15. Everyone shared the goal around. Jesus, I think, ended up on 11, even though he was out for all those months. So plenty of goals, plenty of fun, plenty of entertainment, and a thoroughly enjoyable season. Mikel's speaking about sort of recruitment in the summer. It was interesting. I mean, we've heard him say it so many times in the build-up to this transfer window, and he's always putting pressure on the board. He's always saying, "Look, we need to go big this summer. We need to do this. We need to do that." Took a little bit of a different tone, I thought, in the press conference yesterday when he was asked about recruitment and the importance of getting deals done early. He decided to sort of switch that answer up this time and focus on the players that Arsenal already have. And I know a lot of people sort of picked that up and was like, "Oh, we're not going to sign anyone. Look, they're already saying that they're just going to try and improve the players we have." That's rubbish. That's not going to be the case. Arsenal are going to sign players. Trust me, they're going to spend big money this summer, and they're going to try and spend big money this summer. Obviously, trying to spend it and actually spending it is different things, because you've got to make sure the clubs accept the bids. But they're going to try and go big. So don't worry about that. But I thought it was interesting the way he did switch that focus to the players that Arsenal have, and I think it's really important that they do that. Because this is what he said. I said, "I'm really interested to understand and reflect and analyse what we have in the house, the resources we already have, and how we can improve, how we can maximise and take players to a different level. The ones that we haven't got everything from. Do it, and the bonus will make those decisions and improve the team. We don't want to lose that cohesion that exists around the team and that understanding. Hopefully we'll make the right decision." And honestly, it's really, really important. I look at someone like Smith Rowe, and I don't know what's going to happen with Smith Rowe this summer. And I know I talk about him a lot, but I'm a big fan of Emile Smith Rowe, as you know. And I was writing something earlier today about him, and just how crazy it still seems to me that Arsenal might sell Smith Rowe this summer, especially if, and I like Mason Mount. I think it'd be a really good signing if Arsenal did try and sign Mason Mount. And, they're trying, but whether they can actually do it, I don't know. But it just, if you're going to spend like 50, 60 million pounds on Mason Mount, you sort of look at it and think, you've got Emile Smith Rowe here already. A year ago, he's Arsenal's second top scorer. He was doing so much for the team. He's got so much talent. He'd forced his way into the England squad. And now suddenly he hasn't had one single start this season. Even, yes, he was injured, but still he was fit for a lot of the season. He didn't get a single start. And that just seems mad to me. And if you've got players like that in the squad already, you've got to try and build on them. If you're not going to sell them, and we'll wait and see if that's what Mikel does, but if he doesn't sell Smith Rowe, if they decide to stick with him, they've got to get the best out of him next season, because there's so much talent there. And it'd be such a shame to lose Emile Smith Rowe, I think. And I know a lot of you disagree with me, and you're thinking, let's let him go, let's bring someone else in. But I think he's such a talented player. He's such an exciting player. When Smith Rowe's fit, I mean, it's only 2 years ago what he was doing to that team. He was more important than Saka almost at one point as they were coming through. He was playing so well and scoring so many goals and setting up so many goals and driving the team forward and making those runs from deep. He's really exciting. I heard, I think it was Amy Lawrence was talking on Arsblog's podcast, and she said the two of them were talking. They said, he had a sort of hint of Paul Merson about him, and it was absolutely right. Back in the day, Merson, the way he used to play when he came through at Arsenal under George Graham, there's real similarities there with Smith Rowe and the talent he's got, the natural talent he's got, the ability to run with the ball. And I'd love to see Arsenal get the best out of Smith Rowe and not have to go out and spend 60 million on signing a player when you've got this quality academy product, homegrown, who's right there, not at his prime yet, and who has shown already he can make a huge impact in Premier League level. That I think as soon as I saw and heard what Mikel was talking about there, the first player I thought of was Smith Rowe. There are others, of course, as well, but I think out of all of them, in terms of getting more out of someone who's already in the squad, Smith Rowe is absolutely number one, top of that list, I think. He was asked, on whether the club has good foundations now, and he says, "I think we have some great foundations. That is true. In sport, you have to prove it again. You have to be back first day in pre-season, look at each other, and I don't want to see any complacency. We're going to have to be much better, and it's going to be a challenging season, but a season with plenty of opportunities. And one of those opportunities is to be consistent and do it again and be better. And that is what we have to demand from each other." Now, pre-season last summer was so important. You speak to people at the club, they all talk about how much they believe that pre-season was a sort of catalyst for what happened at the start of the season. It went so well over in America, getting players in early, getting the squad really gelled together, hitting the ground running. Just the whole atmosphere around the pre-season tour of America. I wasn't there, but other people that I spoke to were, and everyone you speak to at Arsenal all talk about how important that was. And it's so vital, I think, that this pre-season mirrors that one, and they have another really successful one. Ideally you sign players early, get them in, you get players fit, and I'm talking about Saliba, Gabriel Martinelli, Tomiyasu. If you can get those players fit for the start of pre-season, get them away on the tour to America, it would just be so beneficial for the season as a whole. And the foundations are there. Absolutely, the foundations are there, but Arsenal have got a real challenge now because they've got to kick on. Last season, there was very little expectation going into it. It was, look, let's get top four, try and get top four. But now it's different. Arsenal finished second. There's only one more place you can go to improve, and that's top. And that's going to be the ultimate challenge because that's overtaking Manchester City. And that's the most difficult challenge of the lot. Fifth to second was great, it was brilliant, but you've still got that huge final barrier to try and overcome, and that's going to be the toughest one to overcome, the biggest obstacle to try and hurdle. And getting pre-season right and building on what they've done now, and like Mikel Arteta says, not arriving in the summer and having any complacency and thinking, "Oh, we finished second last season, we're going to do it again." That's not going to be the case. Everyone's got to work so hard, and to go again and improve. And because Chelsea are going to be better, Tottenham are going to be better, Man United are going to be better, Liverpool are going to be better, Brighton, we'll wait and see what they're going to do under De Zerbi next season. It's a big challenge for Arsenal. I'm excited to see what they do, because this season has just left me feeling so good about the direction that things are going, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, looking forward to next season. Mikel was being his usual Mikel Arteta self when it came to Granit Xhaka, not confirming anything yesterday, sort of saying that's news to me when he was asked about if Granit's leaving, even though Granit had done his big sort of farewell post on social media before the game, had walked the entire way around the stadium waving goodbye to everybody after the game, behind everyone else, saying his goodbyes afterwards down in the around the changing room. I mean, it's we know what's happening. It doesn't take rocket science. When the announcement comes, I don't know when. As far as I'm aware, the deal hasn't been done yet, so that obviously has to be done before the announcement can happen. But I'm sure it will happen relatively quickly. But as I said in yesterday's video, I thought it was a perfect way for Granit Xhaka to say goodbye. 2 goals to cap off that remarkable season for him. Deserves an awful lot of credit. And it was a proper full circle moment yesterday, I thought, at the end of that game, when 3 years on pretty much from when he left the pitch to boos and cheers, and you had that horrible incident against Crystal Palace, and then yet last night leaving the pitch to 60,000 people chanting his names, chanting that they want him to stay and giving him a standing ovation. It was quite the moment, and congratulations to him. Okay, message from the board. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but the board have put out something on Arsenal.com. If you haven't, here's a sort of general gist of it. There's more, but this is sort of 3 paragraphs from it. If you want to see the full statement, then head over to Arsenal.com to have a look at it. It's been a brilliant season with many important moments and memories made in an extraordinary Emirates atmosphere, the likes of which we have never experienced here. 60,000 supporters have sung a new anthem and generated on energy which connects with our players and drives them on. Something special has been restored and shared by Gooners here and across the world. Sincere thanks go to everyone connected to the club, from our owners to all the supporters, from the unstinting support you have given our teams and staff throughout the season. We'll reset this summer, and with the resolute support we have from Stan and Josh, strengthen and go again next season. So there you go, the board saying that the resolute support that the club has from Stan and Josh Kroenke will allow Arsenal to strengthen and go again this season. And as I said, I think they will. They're going to spend money. I think they'll get money from the board, from the owners, but I think they'll also get money from selling players, whether that be Smith Rowe, Tierney, Xhaka, Balogun, we'll have to wait and see. But there will be money available to spend, and I'm expecting Arsenal to have a very exciting summer. Josh Kroenke was there yesterday, watched the game. He sort of all came down to the mix zone afterwards, walked past us, didn't speak to us, but walked past us with Edu. Edu came over, shook all our hands. Josh Kroenke stayed very firmly over in the by the elevator, waiting for Edu to go back up to the director's box. But he was there. I saw him filming, actually. He was filming all the atmosphere. It was clearly... felt it was pretty special filming that on his phone, and so remains to be seen what the owners do, what the Kroenkes do, but fingers crossed it's going to be a big summer for Arsenal. It has to be. They've got to build on this. So thank you very much for watching it, everyone. Thanks for all the support you give me throughout the season. It's been great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for helping the channel continue to grow. Like I said, there's going to be changes coming up. I'm not going to be at goal much longer, but I will still be here, and you're going to see even more from me on this channel, and there's going to be lots more for you to hopefully get involved in as well as we move forward. So stay tuned for all that. Until then, have a very good end to your bank holiday if you're watching here in the UK. Have a very good end to the day if you're watching anywhere else around the world. I'll speak to you soon. Have a good one, people.